Why, hello, little fox. Here's a little intro until I get one professionally done. Like, comment, and subscribe to join in on the fun. Hi, hello, welcome. Today we are in downtown Waynesville, which is where I live. And when I say downtown, since I'm from bigger towns, Buffalo and Rochester, I think like big buildings, borderline skyscrapers, like big arenas, all that stuff. But in Waynesville, in small town America, which I'm getting used to, it is a local main street, which is here. And on this main street used to be a giant arch, similar to the one behind me, that says Gateway to the Smokies. Now, there's stories about this arch, which Jacob has been telling me since I moved here, and I'm excited to tell you because the big version of this arch is coming back. So, 90 years ago on June 1st, whatever year that is, an arch was created that went over this intersection saying Gateway to the Smokies, and yeah, that arch was there for a while. It eroded, it became not so great, and it was taken down 50 years ago. So today, well, tomorrow, today's the day before the big arch reveal, but tomorrow on June 1st, they are bringing the arch back. They're not putting it in the same location here, they're putting it further down Main Street. So as you come in from like Asheville and stuff, you'll see the arch. But meanwhile, this tiny arch has been here. So I figured I'd visit the tiny arch today, and then tomorrow with the big celebration that you'll see in this video as well, there will be the new arch reveal. But I wanted to come and visit this arch while it's still here. I'm not sure if they're getting rid of it, but I wanted to show Main Street today, and then tomorrow for the difference of the celebrations and all that jazz, we can also see the arch that is up now, the new arch, the big arch, and it has a tarp over it for the big reveal tomorrow, and I'm excited, and let's see. Here is the existing arch. It's a little guy. The one that is being put up and, well, is up and is being revealed tomorrow is farther down the street. And I'm excited for it. It's supposed to be over the street. Jacob, this is one of the first things that he showed me when I came to visit the area. He was talking about how there used to be a bigger arch. The two of us are very excited that the arch is back. I don't know if anyone else is. Maybe the two of us are just dorks and excited that the arch is going to be over Main Street again. But let's go see the bigger arch. The arch that will be revealed tomorrow. Oh, I just noticed this little sign over here. It's saying what I was telling you before. So this little guy was installed in 2012 to commemorate the historic sign that spanned Main Street for 40 years. And it was put up 90 years ago. So tomorrow we're getting the big guy again. So you can see that Main Street is pretty sparse right now. But tomorrow is the big reveal, which you will see in this video as well. We're doing this in two parts because I wanted to come today in order to make sure that I could show you guys the little one while less people are around. And then tomorrow we get the big one. So you can see the arch spanning the street way down there, and we're gonna go down there, but I wanted to stop over here first and visit some friends. So when I first came to visit, Jacob made sure to take me to see these guys as well because they are amazing and probably my favorite thing on Main Street. So of course I had to stop by and say hello on the way to the arch because look at them. Look at their little faces with all the metal parts configuring it. Like his nose is like half a horseshoe, his smile I don't know what it's made of, but it's super cute. And look, his smile here is the same thing that's making up this guy's eyebrows. They're both playing instruments. There's his little wash tub there. They're super cute and probably my favorite thing in this whole area. Oh, you can see here they're celebrating already. Even the signs say Gateway to the Smokies. And here it is in all its glory, all tarped off, waiting for the big reveal ceremony tomorrow, or in your case, today, since it's going to be in the same video. But like I said, I wanted to come out today, show Main Street on like a normal day. Tomorrow it'll be closed off. There will be festivities and food trucks. Probably a lot more people, I assume. But you can see it spans the street and it will say Gateway to the Smokies. And if you're coming from this way, you're coming from Asheville. So as you drive through, you will be able to see the arch as well as the mountains in the background. It's pretty glorious. Jacob and I are super excited about it. Yeah, it hasn't been here for 50 years. Tomorrow is the anniversary of when it was first erected 90 years ago. And so it's kind of a big deal, just saying. So here is Main Street today, and tomorrow, and the next day, you can see there's a guy in a crane who, actually there's two guys in cranes who are coming to unveil the sign. The street is closed, and let's go up here where all the action is. Yeah, it's kind of a mob scene here. The crowd is waiting patiently, maybe impatiently, I'm not sure. There's a band. People have brought chairs and are camping out here. You can see other people with cameras, and everyone's excited for the big day. So as you're driving through the sign, you'll be able to see the view to the mountains like we showed you yesterday. I bet it's an exciting day for these guys. Like normally they're like installing like poles and lights, but today they get to pull the big sign down. So there's 10 minutes until the big reveal, and I am excited. The sign was first installed today, June 1st, 90 years ago, and it was taken down in 1972. So 11 years before I was even born, the sign was taken down. And like I said, when Jacob took me here for the first time, he showed me the little sign in honor of the big sign, and we had no idea that the town has been working on a plan for funding and everything to bring the sign back, and here it is. Here it is in all its glory, and soon we'll have the reveal. Oh, I just noticed a little corner of it is picking out. I think that's an N and a C. I'm gonna assume this is for North Carolina, but I could be wrong. It could be, it's the Gateway to the Smokies, so it could be the end of scenic. It could be a lot of things. Jacob's still out of town, so he couldn't come today, but when I told him that the event was happening, I was like, do you think there'll be a lot of people? And neither one of us were sure. We weren't sure if we were like the only dorks that cared about the sign, but it appears that a lot of people do care, and I'm glad that Jacob and I aren't the only dorks that are excited for the sign. Standing here, and I'm sure it was here before, I just noticed it now, there's these little flowers on the side. Those are quite cute. I'm very excited for this, if you haven't been able to tell. So they've just handed out these programs, and here you can see the original sign. So it was up from June 1st, 1933 until 1972, and the first arch was made from steel and sheet iron, and you can see the installation, and I talked about how it was taken down due to disrepair in 1972. So the new one, oh, and I guess we have a sneak peek of what it's going to look like, is from June 1st, 2024 until question mark. And then we have some names here in the community, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. I am very excited.
Oh no, No, not me. You come to see that. Well, we are so grateful that all of you have come today. We are so appreciative of all the support that we have gotten from not only Waynesville, but areas way beyond, in a much broader community than just Haywood County. This just means the world to us that so many of you have come out to share this moment with us. Now, we may not get this tarp off beautifully. We would love to just be able to pull one little cord and have the whole thing fall in a little puddle. But as much as we have worked on this thing today, nobody has really figured out the best way to make it happen. So we are hoping that the wind does not pick it up and carry it down that way. If it does, you might want to duck. So you can all just say a prayer that no one gets hurt when we are taking this tarp off of here, okay? I wasn't born in Waynesville. Asheville was my birthplace, and Candler was my home. My grandmother, however, loved Waynesville. She and my mother and I would make weekly trips out here. My grandmother made her own clothes. And so if you have been here for any length of time, you know that the place to buy, or used to be, to buy thread and fabric was the Toggery. How many of you remember the Toggery? Yeah, see, it hasn't been that long ago. So we would come out here, we would drive up where the courthouse is, and drive up Main Street, and we'd park in front of the Toggery, and she'd go in and buy her thread and her material, and then we would have lunch at Ammons. We get back in our car and drive back to Candler. So I know we drove under that old arch, because we always came up that way. But I can't say that I remember it. I wish I could. I wish I could stand here and tell you all the wonderful memories that I have of that arch, but I don't remember it. I was 4 or 5, so it just didn't mean that much to me back then. So we're here today to celebrate both. A historic arch that's before you in a downtown that has been rescued by an organization that has served this community for 38 years. And the Great Smoky Mountains National Park that was opened in 1934. And aren't we all so grateful that that area has been preserved? Thank you. Yes. So the next speaker is someone that I would like to introduce to you, a council member, John Pfeiffer.
Can I do one thing real quick? So, many of you probably remember the scene in the first Ghostbusters movie when Bill Murray gets out of the ambulance and he is going to fight the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and he says, "Hello, New York," and the crowd goes wild. So I've had that scene in my mind for the last several days. So I would like to say, hello, downtown Waynesville. That is awesome. You forget this arch. Okay. From the day in 1972 when the historic arch came down, people have longed to see it rebuilt. Countless attempts were made to do that. None succeeded until now. Where there's a will, there's a way. 3 years ago, this board picked up the baton from those earlier attempts, and we were as determined as those folks back in the 80s to see this thing through. We had the will, and we found the way. As we stand here today, it's my hope that we will see the arch not just as a gateway to the Great Smoky Mountains, but as a symbol of our collective determination and belief that there is nothing we cannot accomplish if we all work together. Where there is a will, there is a way.
I do remember the old arch, as my son says, I am older than dirt. When you are a little girl and all your ancestors on both sides of your family are short, and they married other short people, the only way you have to see anything at all is to look up. So when I looked up, I saw the arch, and the arch was over the mountains because I was so short. I saw that the mountains went on forever. The light and the dark, the shadows, all woven together with our hopes and our dreams, our secrets and our fears, that the mountains hold in trust for all of us. When we would drive east to visit with family, I learned that the mountains don't go on forever. They drop off pretty sharp down the road. They uncurl on the road, and Daddy could just drive on down for a long time with one hand on the wheel at 10 o'clock and the other on the radio dial. And then when it was time to come home, we were just so grateful to be coming back to the mountains. And somebody in the car would always say, "Can you see the mountains yet? Can you see the mountains?" And we were so relieved when we finally saw them and we realized they were still there. They hadn't left like we did. And then we would be coming up Old Fort Mountain, and that steep cut on the left and the high mountain ridge on the right, and all those tight curves when it was a 2-lane road, and it would be almost like being reborn when we got to the top of the mountain. And not long after that, we would land here in Waynesville, and there at the arch. That was our official homecoming. We didn't say home again, until we got to the driveway, but seeing the arch meant we were home. It is about to be safely unveiled. And I want to say this about the mountains. The mountains are not neutral. The mountains are majestic, they're ancient, they're beautiful, but they're not neutral. You either love the mountains or you don't. And when it comes to the magic of the mountains, you either get it or you don't. I remember the first time I took my very favorite human up one of those windy roads, and the trees were so close the leaves dripped a little of their nectar on our goosebumps. And he turned to me and he said, "Oh, these are the mountains I have always loved, even before I was born." And he went on and said, "I have loved them since before I even knew they were here." So I look up tonight, and the mountains go on forever, with their blues and their greens and their shadow and their light, weaving together our hopes and our dreams, our secrets and our fears. If you listen closely, you'll hear a breath, a breeze, a hug, a kiss, a rustle of leaves and harmonies forming in the mist. Some will whisper, some will shout, some will chant, some will sing. And all of them call to all of us who have loved the mountains since before we were born. Home. Home.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I now would like to introduce one more person who has been a friend of mine for 32 years, and she was the executive director of the Downtown Waynesville Association for those 32 years. And she is largely responsible for all the wonderful things that we experience downtown, and her name is Buffy Phillips.
In 1980, the nation started a Main Street program, and there were 6 states that were chosen. North Carolina was one of those 6, thankfully. They actually had 5 cities, 5 small towns that chose to become a part of and become a Main Street city. There were 5, and all 5 of those were near the coast in the eastern part of the state. A couple of years later, there were 5 more cities that applied and were accepted. The town of Waynesville, property owners, business owners, community-minded people that John was talking about, decided we need to apply for this. And we were in that 3rd group. And it wasn't an easy process. It was an application process, but we were approved. I'd like to say one other thing, that when we had the recession, I think we lost 3 businesses. With the pandemic, we lost maybe 3 businesses. We survived that. We also survived the Friday afternoon on the street, the escaped prisoner, and the gunfight on Main Street. We survived that too, if you remember that. Thank you.
We have one more quick thing that we want to do. We want to recognize Buffy with something that's very small, but we hope that she feels like that our hearts are in it, and that is a plaque, and Jeanette Price McKay is going to give that to her. In sincere appreciation for your dedicated and outstanding service to downtown Waynesville and the North Carolina Main Street Program, a subsidiary of the National Trust for Historic Preservation in coordination with the North Carolina Department of Commerce. Your contribution of leadership for more than 32 years was essential to the success of the Downtown Waynesville Association.
Look at you! You did this! We all did this! Put a good old pile of mountain people together and they will do anything they can to make it happen. Am I right? Whatever it is. Iron-willed, stubborn, never forget a dream. That's us. Can-do people. Dogged determination. That's us. 50 years since the old one came down, but here we are.
If I had a drum, I would roll it. There you go. Okay, we're going to do this. Let's hope that it works seamlessly. Okay.
So, as you can probably imagine, we didn't get a chance to test this out, so cross your fingers. So our elected crews are going to cut the zip ties, and then we're going to see what happens, okay?
I'm about to have a tarp blown on me. Oh, it's coming down. I see a G.
You guys aren't going to believe this thing. It is stunning. It's so awesome.
Oh, there's a string coming down over there. Oh, there goes the bucket.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
Oh, there goes that bucket. Slow and steady reveal here.
Here we go.
Oh, oh. You can see Waynesville. There we go. I do think the choice of song is a little odd, but I am very excited about the arch. Look at it! Look how magnificent! So we've seen the sign from this direction. Now let's see it with the mountains in the background. All right, here we go. We can see the mountains in the distance, the Great Smoky Mountains, and as you are heading down the streets, there is an arch right above, gateway to the Great Smoky Mountains. And you can see there's actually 2 flower decals on each side. It's pretty magnificent. Also magnificent, but maybe just to me, I know it isn't an arch, but look, it's the cheesecake mousse, and you all know how much I love mousses, and this food truck serves cheesecake that's whipped into a mousse, thus the cheesecake mousse. And look at him, look at his little bow tie, he's so cute. These food trucks and tents and stuff, their names are on point. Here we have the Grillmore Girls. There's also a lot of cute little dogs here for the big arch reveal. I wonder if they are as impressed. Oh, here comes another one. I wonder if they're as impressed as I am. And another one! And now that the crowd has parted, we can see the arch front and center with the street closed. Here's the dividing lane. There we go! Now, I've moved a bit down the street to do my outro. You can see the arch above me. Well, in the distance, maybe not above me, but I've never lived in a small town. I've lived in bigger towns, like I said in the intro, and I was just telling Jacob the other day that there's definitely something special about this area. There's a lot to do. I've only lived in one spot my whole life, so maybe it's that like everything is up for exploration, and moving so far from home, so 12 hours south, of course everything's going to be different. And I don't know, the mountains, and just like even at night, like just in bed, you hear all these birds, and well, maybe not in bed, that's more in the morning, but you hear like crickets and frogs, and I don't know, I'm just used to like city life where all I had was maybe like this little bunny that visited me, and I called him Night Bunny, and squirrels and chipmunks. But here, like, there could be a bear in your yard, who knows? And there's such a sense of community and all the people around, and it's just great. So I'm very happy with the move. I really like the town, and I'm also excited about the arch. So thank you for watching. I hope that you will continue on my new journey in a new area and all the new events. And I guess that's it for now. Bye!